Welcome to Excel class number 2, setting up headers and footers on a spreadsheet. In today's Excel class, we will look at how to put headers and footers into a spreadsheet, customize these headers and footers. We'll look at some time-saving tips to help you speed up the process. When printing or circulating any document, it is good practice to put a time and date stamp on the documents as well as file details, especially when you have multiple files and multiple copies of the same file. Having these details makes it much easier to find your files on your hard drive at a later stage. Okay, so let's get started. We've opened up Excel and we have our book 1, which will open up by default. For the purpose of this Excel cast, I have saved book 1 into a temporary folder. Okay, so let's get started. What do we want to do? We want to edit our headers and footers. In the new version of Excel from versions 2007, 2010, and this is 2013, there's a review tab which we can click on. Sorry, I should say the view tab we should click on, which gives us options. So we have normal, which we're in at the moment, a page break preview, and a page layout. So if we click on the page layout option, it will open up the page as it would print. You can see here we've got the options of click to add header. So we've got 3 sections, a left, middle and a right section. So if we click into any of these sections and we click into the left section, you'll notice up here a new tab has opened up. If we click on the header tab, it'll give us the options here for designing. And from here we can do things like put in a page number of pages, current date, and so on. We can put in file, path, etc. We can do the same with the footer. We'll go page down with a keyboard to get us to the bottom, and we'll scroll up a few keys or a few rows, and we can see we've clicked to add footer. So again, same thing, we can put in our details. So again, header, design, and whatever we'd like to put into it. There are also template or predefined headers and footers that we can put in. So let's click in here and let's put in a predefined footer to see what it brings up. So administrator page 1. Okay. Now we can see we've got administrator, page number, and the date. So you can see it's pre-populated the footer with all of the correct information. What we'll look at now is customizing the headers and footers for our own requirements. So we'll get rid of all of what we've put in so far. Okay. If we want to change back to normal view, again we click on view, and if we're still in the header or the footer and they're active, you'll note that the normal option is grayed out. So if you click back into the spreadsheet itself, which will take you out of the edit mode for headers and footers, you can see you will now be able to do it. Now, we can customize headers and footers through the view tab and page layout if we like. My preference, however, is to do it through page setup. So again, starting from the beginning, home, if we go into page layout and then page setup, the bottom right hand corner there's a little arrow which will open up the page setup dialog box. Okay, you can see now we've got the page setup dialog box using the mouse as the mouse to control it. If we close out of this and look at some shortcut keys. Okay, so we want to do the same thing. We want to do it much faster and much quicker on a repetitive basis. So Excel and Microsoft have keyboard shortcuts built in as standard. So if we click on the Alt button on our keyboard, we'll see that it brings a range of prompts. And you can see you've got H for home, N for insert, P for page layout, M for formulas, and so on. So what we're looking for here is page layout. So we'll press P for page layout. Again, you see more prompts, M for margins, O for orientation, etc. What we're looking for this time is SP. SP, type in SP on the keyboard. You can see it has opened up the page setup. So let's do that a little bit quicker. So Alt, P, SP. So you can see how by practicing the shortcuts you can be much faster. Alt P, SP. Alt P, SP. Again, I'd encourage you to practice that a few times. Within the page setup box, we have all the options. We've got options for margins, options for headers and footers, options for sheet, and options for page setup itself. That's why I much prefer to use this, because everything is in under the one dialog box, rather than using the ribbon and having to go from section to section. So let's first of all, let's change our margins to suit. So we'll start with our top margin, and we'll put in a top margin of 2, a bottom margin of 1.5, a left margin of 1, and a right margin of 1. Okay, for the header is 0.8. Again, you need to be careful here depending on your printer setup. Some printers cannot print close to the edge, some printers can. For our purpose here, I'm going to put in 0.5, half a centimeter for the header, and a half centimeter for the footer, 0.5. Okay, you will see the top margin is at 2 and the header margin is 0.5, which gives us a header of 1.5 centimeters to work with, and a margin of 1 centimeter to work with for the bottom. Okay, so let's go in and customize some of our headers and footers. Again, we see we have drop downs for a header, which we can insert the predefined Microsoft formats. But we will go into custom a header. We'll do a custom header and we'll do a custom footer. So let's do a custom header. Okay, so we've clicked on custom header. So let's see that again. Custom header. Left section. Okay, I like to put in a company logo into the left section. Again, it makes the document look much more professional. So if we click on left section, and we'll click on over here, insert picture. Again, for the purposes of this video, I've put a picture on my desktop of Excel. So Excel logo. So we have our picture in there now, Excel logo. So again, so we better make sure it fits. So we click on the format picture button. So again, we can see this is the picture is 5.69 centimeters high. We only have 1.5 centimeters to work with. So let's change this to 1.25. Again, you can see the width is automatically changed as the aspect ratio is locked. So again, it's very good to keep the aspect ratio locked. However, sometimes you might want to change it. So we'll click OK on that. So we have our picture in, and we look at the top right hand section of the document. So we'll put in confidential. Okay, and then we'll put in the page numbers at the top. So again, so it's good to split between, say, use a hyphen or underscore or something like that to split it, to break up the text. And page, so confidential page, so put in page 1 of X number. So if we go in page, so we type in page and we'll click on and page of pages. Okay. You can see we have confidential page X of Y, and we should format the font on this. We'll bring it to a bold and bring it to 8. Okay, confidential page of pages. So that looks okay. So again, you can see insert number of pages, insert page number. Okay, so now we can see. So we have a preview here of what our header is going to look like. So let's go into customer footer. Okay, in the left section, I like to put in our document details. So you can see we insert a file path. So that inserts file path and the file name. And we put in a space and a line to separate the file path, and I like to put in the sheet tab as well. Okay, and on the right section we shall put in the date and the time. So date and time. Okay, again we'll format these, font and 9 and bold and okie dokie, and format bold 9 and okay. Okay, so now we can do a preview. So we have our logo, confidential page 1 of 1, and our file path and our date and time. Okay, so let's click on OK and see how we get on. Actually, what we'll do is you have seen there at PSP, we can go into print preview directly from here. Okay, you see, we didn't find anything to print. That's because there's no data within the spreadsheet. So let's just type in Excel, something to put in a bit of data. Okay, so we'll go Control P on the keyboard this time. So hold Control and press key. Okay, you can see Excel is in there. We can see our header and footer and the details. Again, you might want to make them bigger than that. You know, try it out, see how it prints out. We'll click on this zoom button down at the bottom to see what it looks like up close. and confidential, let's come down to the bottom, the date and the time. Again, you can format the time to different formats and see temp book1.xls, perfect. And escape, hit the escape button to come out of that. Okay, so you can see from that we've customized our headers and our footers, and we've shown it through both methods. So the old method, which is LPSP, the page setup method, and again I like this because everything is in the one place. And we've also looked at it doing it through the view and page layout. Again, where you're going to do it. So you can see you can do it both ways, you can edit both ways and work from there. Anything else that I want to say on this page layout? Not at the moment. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we have our headers and we have our footers. We want to use these headers and footers on all our documents. So how do we make sure that every time we create a new Excel spreadsheet that we have the header and footers? What we'll do in our second part of this Excel cast, we will look at how to change the default book that opens up that so that it will include our headers and footers that we have created. So for the purpose of this, we'll do a quick save, Alt FA, save as, okay, B for browse, and I'm going to put this into my temporary folder and save. Okay, yes, I will replace that because I already have it saved. Okay, so saved, it will save the folder, save the file, so we have it for the second part of our Excel cast. If you like this Excel cast, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and give me suggestions for what you'd like to hear in future podcasts and Excel casts that you'd like to look at, the things that would help you in your work. Thanks very much for staying with us.